In my recent devlog, this guy Dipankardar3645 commented tutorial on how to make levels on home screen in Godot. Since I have a little experience in Godot, I thought of sharing some insights and techniques that I follow to make levels on home screen. And there are better tutorials out there on how to make levels. I recommend checking Legion Games YouTube channel for tutorials if you are using Godot. He is a legend. Okay, let's get started. Before making a level, I divide objects into two categories. By the way, objects are nothing but the 3D models, sprites, and other stuff that a player sees in a level. The first category have objects that are used only once and only used in one level. These are objects that does not occur multiple times in the game. The other category have objects that are used multiple times, either in the same level or in different levels. Let me explain this with the screen game. This game have 5 different levels. In level 1, I created a platform with the spikes. Here, the platform comes under the first category, which means it appears only once, only in this level. Platform in each level is unique. In level 1, it's 250 meters long, and in level 2, it has been broken into pieces, and in the next level, it's 500 meters long. Since the platforms are unique and occur only once, I have to create them once in the entire game, and I created them inside their respective level. Now let's talk about the spikes. These spikes come under the second category. These are used multiple times in level 1, and the same spikes are used in level 5. These spikes that you see in level 1 are not created in this level. I created them as a separate scene and added that scene into level 1. If you don't have any idea about scenes in Godot, don't worry. They are similar to movie scenes, and the entire game will be divided into segments, and each segment is created as a separate scene. For an instance, my Scream game have 5 levels, home screen and the result screen. So I made 7 scenes and loaded them in a sequence. You don't have to load the scene just because you created it. You can load a scene only when it's needed, and you can add a scene inside another scene as many times as you want. A quick note, loading a scene and adding a scene are different. Okay, back on the track now. We are talking about spikes, right? As I said before, I created spike as a separate scene and added it into level 1 scene. By doing this, I can reuse the spike as many times as I want. In level 1, I used about 50 spikes. A spike have a 3D mesh, a script, and a collision shape. Imagine if I have to create them inside level 1, I have to create them 50 times over and over again. But if I create a separate scene with one spike, I have to do this only once, and I can add that scene 50 times just by dragging it into level 1. This reduces a huge amount of time and effort. Spike scene is common to all the other scenes in the game, so a change in the spike scene will be reflected in all the other scenes where a spike is used. If I had created the spike in level 1, I have to repeat the change in each spike 50 times. It will be a huge disaster. But do not overdo this. If you do so, you will be ended up creating too many scenes, which will become a headache over time. Use this technique only for objects that will be used so many times in the game, like spikes and other obstacles in Scream game, and for the objects that have complex mechanisms or behavior that is attached to it. That's one thing that I follow while creating a level, and the rest is regular stuff. I add a player, obstacle, and objective, and I may add a timer in order to make it competitive and fun, but if you overdo this, it will make the player stressed, so be cautious. And while designing a level, you can make it repetitive so that the player plays it again and again, and every time there should be something new or different which prevents the player from getting bored. Now let's talk about making a home screen. To be honest, home screen depends on your creativity. Home screen is just another scene in which you can interact only with the buttons. You can even add other interactive components if you want. To make the home screen more responsive, use VBox, Hbox, and there is a lot of things you can do in home screen. And even I am a newbie who is bad at making home screens, so I cannot talk about it, but don't worry, there is a lot of tutorials out there on YouTube. And another guy named Morshu_228 commented in one of my shorts. He asked, how did you learn game development using Godot? Did you take any additional program other than YouTube? Well, the answer is YouTube tutorials and no. You can find pretty much everything on YouTube. All you need is time and dedication. A paid program would be helpful. You get a well-structured syllabus and study materials. You will have an experienced mentor. You can learn fast. You won't be lost or stuck and more. So if you want to make games fast and want to make money, go for a paid program. But if you want to make games for fun and hobby, YouTube is more than enough. And it's gonna be hard, but in the end, the satisfaction you get when you solve an error that occurred after writing hundreds of lines of code, or the feeling you get when a user comments that your games feel so good, is unmatched. Hang in there for a while, do not give up, try new ways, and eventually one day you will master it. And right now I'm creating my first commercial game using Godot. The devlog will be out soon. Keep supporting. Thank you guys. Thank you for everything you gave me until now. Good luck and see you in the next video.